come true. There's no limit to what we can do. Turning no's to yes, leaving doubt behind, releasing the stress. We were born to shine.
You're now tuned in to the Sade Champagne Show. With the cast, Christina, Renee, Rick and Melissa Wood, Lisa Lewalt, Veronica Escobar Winners, Ariana Sade, and Ayokunle, Falama. Celebrity guest interviews, segments on health, wellness, creativity, entrepreneurship, spirituality, hot topics, and more. You're now tuned in to the Sade Champagne Show.
Good evening, everyone. That was Avery Wilson from his Titanium cover of Season 3 on The Voice. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 32 of the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio. I can't believe we're in the 30s already. We only have 4 more weeks, including tonight, until our Season 2 finale. Every episode is available on iTunes. Search the Sade Champagne Show, and you can download them for free. And also, you can go to my Sade Champagne YouTube channel to listen to the show afterwards as well. Thanks to everyone who tunes in from all around the globe. All the episodes of my show are also available at blogtalkradio.com/grindhard_radio. I've also posted the direct link to this episode on my Twitter and Facebook pages, so you can tune in at any time. Thank you to Travis Miller for creating and producing my show's theme song, and to Scott Swish for mixing it. If this is your first time listening in, I'm a professional musical artist, performer, inspirational speaker, and entrepreneur. I have created, directed, and executive produced almost 300 charitable and inspirational events, including my popular Power of a Dream tour. I love mentoring, coaching, authentically being myself, and using my platform to encourage, empower, and bring out the gold in others. Tonight is our All Stars The Voice special. I've been super inspired by this show over the years and wanted to dedicate an episode of my radio show to celebrate all the splendiferous singers, or I should say singers, and performers who have been on this show. Our celebrity guests are Season 2's Moses Stone from Team Christina Aguilera, and Season 9 from Team Pharrell, Celeste, a.k.a. Evan McKeel. Their talent has garnered views from millions of people around the globe and mentorship from legendary artists. They'll be sharing what they've been up to since their time on The Voice, playing their new music, and more. Last weekend, I got the opportunity to sing the national anthem for the Roller Derby League, and that's the number one song I get invited to sing all the time. Right after that is Hallelujah. And I ran into one of the most beautiful little girls. Her name is Alyssa, and if you guys remember her story, she was a little girl diagnosed with cancer, and the doctors said that she wouldn't make it past 5 years old. And so I would always see her ever so often. I saw her at her 6th birthday, and she was still cancer-free. And I hadn't seen her, and then I saw her again, I believe, at 7. She's still cancer-free. And today I saw her for the first time in 2 years. She's 9 years old and still cancer-free. And I want to shout out Britty Cares International, who is a phenomenal charity that helps children survive cancer. And I just want to encourage anyone who's going through a tough time, or you have a family that's fighting this right now, that we're here for you and we're supporting you. And there are many stories of people who beat this horrible disease. And so that was really exciting to me, and I wanted to share with you all. She's one of my biggest fans and supporters, and seeing her encourages me to keep going after my dreams, to keep helping people, to keep making a difference in this world. My Power of a Dream tour is always booking new shows and performances. This fall we will be in San Luis Obispo, Ventura, Oxnard, Orange County, Fresno, Sacramento, and more. We love traveling, and if you're looking to bring Power of a Dream tour or any of our award-winning and critically acclaimed artists or speakers to your city or event, please email me at sadechampagnemusic@gmail.com for more details. That's sadechampagnemusic@gmail.com. If you check out my Facebook page, look under Sade Champagne and look under events to see our full schedule. Next month, we're also going to be at Pacific High School for Red Ribbon Week and sharing with the students there. It's an amazing continuation school, sharing with the students, the value of living a sober life and living drug and alcohol free, and how that's really expanded our dreams and helped us to live what we are living today and make a difference in this world. So it's a super fun thing, that I get to do, and I'm thankful to be living my dreams and empowering others to do the same. Lastly, thank you to everyone who's been watching, sharing, and subscribing to all my new videos. I'm constantly writing new pieces and creating new songs, and I'm going into the recording studio soon. To find out more about my musical journey and how you can be involved, check out GoFundMe.com/Sade Champagne Music. Once again, that's GoFundMe.com/Sade Champagne Music. I will be live tweeting and posting on Facebook all show long, and I want to know your thoughts. Tweet me at SadeChampagne, or you can also Facebook me as well at Sade Champagne. Instagram, I am Sade Champagne. And you can also, you guys really reach out to me everywhere. And so I'm super thankful for your support and how you guys are always there. And I want to thank you. I know we have a bunch of people that are coming in tonight to support the show. And you guys are always there every single time, YouTubing me, emailing me, calling in, everything. And so we are super thankful for your support. We're getting ready to bring in our first celebrity guest of the evening. We want to make sure we get him back in the studio. Okay, he's on the line. Awesome. And so we're going to bring him into the show. This is a live show, you guys, so we never know what we're going to get. This is his birthday today, and so I'm super honored that he would take the time out of his busy schedule, because he is always on the grind. He's been like that since I've known him for years. He's always been a hard worker and focused on his dreams, and so he's on the line now. Be sure to social media with words of encouragement for this new year of his life. Moses Stone is a recording artist, actor, music producer, and entrepreneur who incorporates elements of hip-hop and pop music as a rapper, singer, and musician. He had success at a young age, then known as Young Moses, a.k.a. That Dude Young Moses, as an acclaimed performer who appeared on MTV's Say What Karaoke and BET's 106 in Park, Wild and Out Wednesday, where he earned his first place in competitions. He earned first place in several competitions. Moses Stone's ability to perform helped him capture his audience at the world-famous Showtime at the Apollo in New York City. He also opened for LaToya Luckett, former member of the Grammy Award-winning group Destiny's Child at Hunter College in New York City. Moses also performed on CBS's Showtime for his championship fight nationwide at the Home Depot Center in front of almost 19,000 people, with Latif Coyote versus Antonio Tarver. He worked as a project manager for Universal Records, Universal Music Gospel, Machete Music, Universal Music Latin, and Fontana Distribution. He was recently on Season 2 of the Emmy Award-winning, highly rated hit show The Voice on legendary artist Christina Aguilera's team, and he was the first MC and singer to be on the show. He was also mentored by Lionel Richie, and he gained so much confidence in his singing abilities and in the industry, and was seen by millions of people around the world. He's a philanthropist and actively participates in various fundraisers and charity events. He actually was participating in one of my charity events the year before last, helping teens, and he also supports Kicks for Kids, which is a fundraising for domestic violence and abuse awareness. And he performs at many benefit events everywhere. And he's the CEO and founder of his new entertainment company, Art Sky LLC, where he creates music, films, commercials, and more. And his bio is so long, but I just gave you guys a bit of it. So let's give it up for Moses. How are you doing tonight?
Appreciate it. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm excited. I just got here in Vegas today, so I am getting in the birthday spirit, getting me a little drinks in, and getting ready to party.
I appreciate you, taking the time to be with us on your birthday. You could have been anywhere else, and you are sharing it with us tonight, so we're super thankful.
Oh, for sure, no doubt. I'm always here to work, always working.
I know. So for those who are just getting to know you, let everyone know how you got your start in the entertainment industry.
Well, I got my start in the entertainment industry as a young kid, maybe about 15 years old. I lived in Maryland, D.C. area. The DMV is what we call it. And it was just me and my family, my mom, my dad, my 2 sisters, my grandma, and we literally just packed up all of our stuff, and we would go back and forth to New York, 3 hours away from D.C., and I would do different auditions and shows, and always working and performing back and forth up there. So I did a couple of auditions up there. I landed some stuff on MTV, Say What Karaoke. That was my first thing. Then I ended up doing Showtime at the Apollo, and then I started doing a couple of open mics up there in New York and back in D.C. And pretty much once I started doing that kind of just snowballed into everything else. So once I started there, we kept working, and we started doing shows here, and everything else just kind of took off at that point.
Awesome. And have you always been passionate about entrepreneurship too?
Yeah. I've always been passionate about entrepreneurship. My dad, I'm Jamaican. My dad's from Kingston, Jamaica. My mom's American. But my dad, he came from Jamaica, started his own business from ground up, an auto body shop called Mo's Auto Body. And pretty much I've seen that my whole life growing up. So I've always knew the importance of owning your own business and being in control of your own destiny. So, me watching my father do that, I've always, took after that. So whether it was music or whatever I was doing, I was always going to own my own business and be in control of my own destiny for sure.
Mm-hmm. And, as I was telling our listeners, I've known you for a very long time. We used to perform with a lot of the same people, and you have just continued to, be consistent and persistent over the years. And I've seen a huge acceleration in your artistry and your business sense and just in the way that you navigate through the industry and through what you love.
I appreciate it. I think that's very important. I think in this industry, you always have to be changing. You always have to be striving for the best. And for me, I always want to be doing bigger and better than I did last year. So, you always got to take it up a notch. And each and every year, I strive to surpass what I've done that following year.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Yeah.
So share with us what it was like being on The Voice and how has that opportunity expanded your career?
Being on The Voice, it was an amazing experience. I got to work with a lot of talented singers and artists, as well as working with legendary Christina Aguilera. She was an amazing mentor to me. She taught me a lot about, singing and being an artist and just presenting your music and craft and really owning the stage. She told me so much about that. I think those key things for me is what shaped a lot of the things and the decisions that I make and certain things that I'm involved with after the show. That kind of instilled into me. But she definitely told me a lot about those things. And the show for me really brought a lot of fans, a lot of different opportunities for people to kind of get to know my music and get to know who I am as an artist. So the show was a great platform to really, express myself from that point once I came off of it.
Mm-hmm. You talk about how you were able to start building self-confidence, on the show and your self-esteem. Why are self-image and confidence so important?
I would say mainly with me, and my point was I came on the show as a rapper. I came on the show as a rapper. I was rapping and singing, but I was mostly rapping. And, dealing with that struggle of, okay, cool, I'm having to sing now. I'm having to, express myself vocally and kind of really push myself. And Christina helped me push myself vocally to really challenge me. And I think as any artist or any person, whatever industry you're in or whatever you do, you always need a challenge. You always need something that pushes you to the next level. And I think that was what it was for me. And I think it's so important to, build your self-confidence and always challenge yourself and put yourself outside of your comfort zone. Because that's the only way you grow in life. So you have to put yourself outside of your comfort zone and keep pushing so you can grow.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. We're going to take a question from one of our listeners. Let me bring him into the studio. This is 805-628. 805-628. We're going to bring you into the show. Hello?
Hello.
I recognize that voice, Katrina.
Hi.
Hi. You want to say hi to Moses, too?
Sure.
What question? Do you have a question for him? anything you'd like to ask about?
Do you still get stage fright?
Stage fright? When I first used to get on stage, I always used to get a little bit of butterflies in my stomach before I got on, like right in the pit of my stomach. But you know, as you keep going and the more shows you do, it starts to lower down. But I feel like it's always something there, and I think that's just me ready to explode on the stage and perform and give a great show. So I still do a little bit.
Yeah.
I still do just a little bit.
Yeah, like he says, I don't think they ever go away. We just learn how to use it to our advantage.
Control it. Yeah, you learn how to control it. So it's not too crazy when you get on the stage that's completely scared. But yeah, I learned how to control it over the years.
Mhm.
Do you have any other questions, Moses?
How did you get to like the audition on The Voice?
Well, my audition really came about is that the casting director, Michelle McNulty, she basically discovered me out and about. She heard my music, seeing me out performing, and she pretty much asked me to come on and audition for the show. So my audition was a direct thing, but I know a lot of people do the cattle calls. A lot of people wait in the lines. I've done that when I was a kid. I used to have to wait in lines, long lines, and wait for my shot to go in there and perform. So, yeah, I've done both sides. But with The Voice, it was pretty much they called me in and said, you know, we want you, Moses. We want you to be on the show.
Oh, my God, that's so cool.
Yeah. And so, you notice what he was sharing about, Katrina, is, and I want all of our listeners to take this in, Moses continues to push himself out of his comfort zone and allow himself to grow in his dreams and passions. So what happens is not only does he find opportunities, but opportunities find him. You know what I mean? Because he is always consistently out there doing different things, finding different opportunities. And so what ends up happening, like you said, you know, he was already out doing great things, so they were like, hey, we want to have you be a part of this.
Yeah, if you don't see any opportunities, you got to always make your own opportunities. Kick down that door and make your own opportunity, for sure.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, keep listening. And, Katrina, you know we got Evan coming up and Celeste, and if you have any questions for them, I'll bring you in for that as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Moses, tell us about a time when you wanted to quit, and how did you overcome that moment?
I would say a time when I wanted to quit was probably the time after I got rid of my management after the show. A lot of things were just I lost a lot of opportunities. I lost the reality show. I lost a couple of performances that I got opportunities for. So a lot of things were just going downhill as far as the opportunities that people were trying to reach out to me, but my previous management team was messing everything up. So at that point, I was really ready to quit and get out of music and just kind of focus on business. But I think the thing that made me overcome that was just knowing that God has a bigger plan, and you have to stay focused. You have to trust in Him, and that's what I did. I stood back. I trusted in God. And I just said, well, look, any way that pans out, I'll keep working and doing it. And then within that whole situation, I ended up recording a mixtape called Resilient, which is a mixtape that I put out, and pretty much I just recorded a bunch of new music. And that was kind of my process of getting through it and, keeping me focused and keeping me motivated was recording music, going back in the studio and keep making music. That was the main thing that pulled me out of it.
I could never imagine you not doing music and art. Like, I feel like art and creativity are who you are, even though obviously you have a business and entrepreneurial aspect as well. Like, you got a great blend of both. I could not imagine you not doing it.
Of course. I feel like when you grow up doing something all your life and it's just your passion, it's something that you can't stop doing it, no matter what. Highs and lows, whatever the case may be, you're going to go through things, ups and downs, highs and lows, sides and sides. Whatever it is, if you love something, you're going to always continuously do it. And for me, music and art and expression and entertaining, that's just what I love to do. So I will always do it until the day I die, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about your new song, Big City, and also your mixtape, Soon You'll Understand. That song is super hot, and I'm enjoying listening to this EP, and I can't wait for us to play your new single at the end of our interview soon.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Soon You'll Understand mixtape, I did that as a little something for my fans and people that are listeners of me. After the fact, I was doing a lot of business and working on a lot of different side projects, so I wanted to put out something free for a lot of the fans that they can listen to and just enjoy on themselves. The record Big City actually came from a bad relationship that I was previously in, and the girl that I was with was pretty much reckless, and me being in the L.A. lifestyle and seeing what the girls go through, the ups and downs, and just getting wasted on drugs and emotions and all types of craziness and dealing with a lot of these girls who are crazy. And I dealt with that. So I basically took all of that I went through in my music, in my personal life. I just put it into the music, and Big City came out of it. And I've been getting a lot of great feedback on that record. The record is doing really good out in Germany right now. It's picking up on radio in Germany. It's playing in the clubs everywhere out in Germany. So
congrats.
We're looking for, yeah, thank you. We're looking to take some, some situations over there in Germany and do some shows and perform out there because it's picking up really well over there.
Good. And so what words of encouragement and wisdom would you give to up-and-coming entrepreneurs, entertainers, and artists?
I would say the main thing is push yourself out of your element, push yourself out of your comfort zone. Always know that there is going to be a challenge along the way. Surpass that, keep focused, stay focused and keep striving. You're going to run across a lot of different challenges and things that are not going to make sense and things that are going to make sense. And people are going to tell you all day that, your business or your dream or whatever you got going on will not succeed. You have to look past that and really, truly believe in what you do. You have to really believe in what you do. If nobody else believes, you have to believe because that's the only way that other people are going to believe. You have to truly believe from the ground up, every inch and soul and fiber inside you. You have to believe it. And once you believe it, then it will come into fruition for sure.
That's really good. That's really, really good. And what are you most proud of? This could be professionally or personally.
I would say I'm most proud of everything that I've done so far in my life. Where I've come from, building a business from the ground up. Me coming out from L.A., moving from Maryland to come out to L.A. and build an actual business up from ground up and be successful at it. I'm really proud of myself, and it takes a lot, and I'm still not even where I want to be, because I'm always striving for the best, and I'm never complacent, so I always want to surpass whatever I'm doing. So I would say just like the biggest moments is just being proud and making my family proud at the end of the day. That's the most important thing, is just making sure my family is proud and I can take care of the ones around me, for sure.
And tell everyone more about your business, Art Sky LLC, and how that came about.
For sure. Well, Art Sky is basically it's broken into a couple different sides of the company. I kind of position it as Russell Branson with Virgin. We are a digital marketing company, and we do anywhere from advertising, marketing, Google PPC, website design, all of those things that can really take care of your online needs. We do that, and we also have a music production company. With our music production company, we've done music for Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Ford Music, Puma with Rihanna, McDonald's, 250, they had a big special, and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, Bad Girls Club. So we've done a lot of music for that, music production, and then and we pretty much kind of have our hands in everything. I wanted to create a creative company to where I'm really passionate about all different things. I'm passionate about the music production, passionate about creative design online, and passionate about being an artist. So I wanted to design a company and build a company around those things And I hope to, expand it out and do more and more things down the line. But right now it's more focused on just, creative design and music production. And as things grow and grow, I want to, expand it out for sure.
Mm-hmm. So what else do you have coming up that you'd like to share?
Well, right now what I'm doing is I'm working on a EP. I'm super excited because a lot of the new music I've been working on is incredible. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm going back into my old ways. That old ways meaning that, my Jamaican side is coming out a lot of my new music. So you're going to get a mix of like Jamaican and American. So I've been taking the records. I've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of girls and guys and friends and labels and, things like that. So we've been getting a lot of great feedback, me and my management that I work with. And so we're working on that. And then I just did an episode on Game Shakers on Nickelodeon. That should be coming out in November. And then I'm doing a lot of short films and a lot of acting projects, getting ready to present everything on top of January, which is January 1st. We're going to be putting out the new music. So I'm really excited about the new music and performing and doing a lot of new shows. So we've just been working on my shows and getting that music nice and tight. So I'm super excited about the new music for sure.
Oh, my goodness. I'm excited to hear it, too, because you always have something cooking. We're actually, besides Big City tonight, we're going to be playing one of your collaborations that you did at the end of the show, the one you did with our great mutual friend, Joel Piper, Hero. So we're going to be playing that tonight at the end of the show as well.
Yeah, that's my boy. We did that record. We put a lot of love and time into that record. So that was a fun record to do. And I hope to work with him some more on a lot of the new stuff. We've just been back and forth. We're always like sending emails back and forth, like, yo, jump on this, and send me this, and send me that. So I think it's always a creative thing. We always have to keep working and doing, new music. You got to stay fresh and stay active, for sure.
Yeah. And I knew he was someone you would definitely connect with because both of you have had some great success within the industry. He's super hardworking and passionate like you are, and so it's like he's like us. Like he eats, dreams, sleeps, breathes, music and art and creativity and business.
Yeah, he's super humble and he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He's independent and I know what it's like to be independent. He knows what it's like to be independent and run your business. And he believes in what he stands for. And you only can respect people who believe in what they stand for. So he has a big respect in my heart for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's like I said, and it's cool, too, to have watched you over the years. I'm really thankful because I've seen a lot of people that we've worked with over the years that have actually gone on to do great things, you being one of them. And it's really inspirational because it shows, like, it's possible. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they don't have the opportunities or they don't see, like we do, so many people we perform with, like Diggy Wright and Jasmine B and Jackie Boy, so many other people that are doing, even myself, that are doing great things and following our dreams, and so it's something to encourage our listeners, on that it's possible.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm always, like I said, I'm always working hard. Even when you told me, like, hey, can you do this video? I'm like, yeah, send it over to me. It's my birthday, but for sure. I'm going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do, so I'm always doing that.
So as we're wrapping up, let everyone know where they can follow you and stay updated with your career. Give them all the links, your website, everything.
For sure. Well, if anybody wants to stay in touch, you guys can all hit me up at I am Moses Stone. That's pretty much everything. My Facebook, my Instagram, everything. Also, my Instagram is Moses Stone Official, and if you go onto my Instagram page, you'll find a number there. You can text me directly. Shoot me your name and your email address, and I'll text you personally. So you can definitely stay in touch with me for sure.
Awesome. And then we're going to have you introduce your amazing new single, and then I'm going to let you get out of here so you can enjoy the rest of your birthday.
For sure. Thank you. All right, you guys, you ready? You ready for me?
We're ready.
Okay, for sure, you guys. Well, thank you so much for all the love and support over the years. Check out my new single. It's called Big City. I am Moses Stone. New music to come in January. I love and appreciate everybody. Big City. Here we go. Let's get it.
Awesome. And everyone wish Moses Stone a happy birthday.
Hey.
Young Living essential oils are known throughout the world for their purity, quality, and potency. But that's not the whole story. The oils start with high-quality seeds planted in nutrient-rich soil that grow into strong, potent botanicals. They work with the finest oils and hold to the seed-to-seal standard and ensuring it meets that standard through a series of rigorous tests. Young Living is a universally known household name that is revered and respected for the countless benefits it brings to humanity. Propelled by the world's purest essential oils and oil-infused products, along with the passionate commitment to empowering individuals to whole life wellness. Bring the pureness of Young Living essential oils to your home by contacting independent distributor Teresa Whittington, and to read her story on her website, go to teresaw.myoilsite.com. That's spelled TERESAWMYOILSITE.com. You can also reach her at teresawoilsite@gmail.com. That's spelled TERESAWOILSITE@gmail.com.
Hi, you're tuned in to GrindHard Radio. This is Ayokunle Falomo from the Sharing Your Story segment on the Sade Champagne Show. Keep listening.
You're listening to the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio. This is our All-Stars The Voice special episode. Our next celebrity guest is on the line. He was a top 12 finalist from Team Pharrell on Season 9 of The Voice. Music is the center of his being. It took him to record stores to collect albums and study the world of music. It took him to choirs and productions to be trained on stage and in voice. It took him to every little club and bar in Virginia and to learn hard work and experience. Pharrell taught him how to speak with his music and always be himself when he performs. He was one of my personal favorites, and my heart cried a little when he got eliminated. Everyone give it up for Skinny Eve. How are you doing tonight?
What's up? Hey, Sade. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're so glad to have you on Season 2, Episode 32 of the Sade Champagne Show for our All-Stars The Voice special.
I like the All-Stars because I'm a big sports fan, so I've never been big enough to be an athlete professionally, so This is the first time I've ever been able to be an all-star.
You are totally an all-star. That's your voice, and with your heart, you're an all-star for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Definitely. So for those who are just getting to know you, please let everyone know how you got your start in the entertainment music industry.
Oh, so musically, I mean, that's a very long story. I've been doing music my whole life, of course, but I would say The Voice was definitely my first crack at what most people would call the music industry. So The Voice really was my catapult just about a year ago into the public eye and into people knowing who you are and hearing you sing outside of, your four walls or your hometown. So The Voice was really the way I got started, as many people.
Wow. So you got like a really great start.
Yeah, The Voice was a really good shot out the gate for me, for sure.
Yeah. So tell us about that. What was it like being on The Voice, and how has that opportunity expanded your career and dreams?
Oh, man. Being on The Voice was so much fun and so much hard work. It was definitely it's definitely something I wasn't expecting. I wasn't one of the ones that went out and waited until they came close enough for me to audition. I never really thought that I would be on one of those shows. The opportunity kind of fell in my lap at a time when I wasn't doing music to try and pursue opportunities in the music industry or get my name out there at all. I was just performing around Virginia to make a living, and just because I love playing music, I was kind of just doing it because it's me and it's what I love. So it really extended my dreams and long-time hopes of putting music out there in the industry and being a professional performer, because it's not really something I was pursuing necessarily. But now that I've had that opportunity and seeing that it's something that I can be successful at, now it's something I'm continuing to pursue after I've been given the opportunity.
Right. And so tell us how and when did you become Skinny E? because obviously your birth name from and what we know you from the show is Evan McKeel. So how did Skinny E come into play?
Right. Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with Pharrell, when Pharrell was with his band NERD, he was called Skateboard P. And so when I started working with him, one of the guys that works for The Voice, he just like works with us, the contestants, and like helps us get from point A to point B for rehearsals. His name's Ivan. Really amazing dude. Was a good friend of mine on the show. He started calling me. He started calling me Skinny E. Just kind of as a play off of Pharrell's Skateboard P nickname. Next thing you know, like all the other contestants are calling me that, and it's just a name that was affectionately used for me throughout the show. And I just I really liked it. I started using it as my hashtag during The Voice. Then everybody that watches the show that was voting for me started using the hashtag, and next thing you know, all my fans and people that are watching the show know me as Skinny E as much as they know me as Evan. So then after the show, when I started transitioning into making original music and starting to release some stuff, I never really wanted to record music under my first and last name. I wanted something with a little bit more anonymity. So I just decided to keep using that name since it had just been given to me, and I liked it a lot.
Awesome. That's so cool. I want to let you know, like as I mentioned during your intro, you were one of my favorites of the season, and I think very underrated, to see like your voice is so big, you know what I mean, and so beautiful, and you could just really feel you could feel your heart every single time that you sing. You give everything that you have. I love how comfortable you are with your positioning, with your body, with just being who you are, and it's really inspiring to see, you know what I mean, because I feel like those are all the things that legends are made of, and when you see people who have that type of impact, that here we are on how many, like at least one or two more seasons since you've been on, and I still remember you. It's like I still remember you, and I'm still impacted by that. So I just think that's really cool, and like I said, you're definitely one of my favorite vocalists and of the season and of the show, period. And so I'm really excited for you and proud of you.
Wow, thank you so much. That means a lot to hear. I really appreciate that.
So why are self-image? You're welcome. Why are self-image and confidence so important?
Oh man, self-confidence and image are very important things. I think self-confidence, and especially as a music artist, image is so important because we would love to say it's just about the music, but it's never just about the music. How you look, how you present yourself, how you move on stage is as easily as important, if not more important, than the actual music, because the music comes easily to an artist. Sometimes it's performing on stage or putting together a wardrobe or looking a certain way that's not as natural to someone who mainly makes music. And I think that there's a lot of people who let a lack of self-confidence, and especially about their image, keep them from pursuing getting themselves out there. They're afraid of what people are going to think about how they look or how they move. And that's one thing that Pharrell really encouraged me in, was just to not care what those people think and just do what you love and just forget about, forget that people are watching sometimes and just embrace it. And for me, I think image issues and people having problems with their own image, generally in our culture, you expect to hear that from a girl most of the time. But I definitely can say that I know a lot of guys, and I've worked with, youth and, done youth ministry, and that's as much of an issue for guys, for sure. That's something that I have struggled with in the past. I've been the same weight for like 8 years. I cannot put on weight no matter what I do. Thus the name Skinny E. And for me, it was something that I was very discouraged about for a while. I always saw the image of a man was a big, tall, like brute kind of guy, and I was always frustrated that I not only didn't look that way, but there was nothing I really could do to look that way. And I saw it as a negative thing. But between working with Pharrell and just kind of growing into myself a little bit, that's one of the reasons that I decided to go by Skinny E. It's a complete embrace of who I am. It's completely me saying, like, I'm totally unashamed that I look different than, most other dudes.
That's good. And it's funny because I found that over the years that those insecurities only become an issue when it becomes an issue to us. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because really,
Absolutely.
as we embrace who we are and we continue to be ourselves, other people feel the same way, and they're no longer thinking, oh my gosh, why is this? Like, you know, or why is that? Like, I find the very things that I used to not feel confident about myself on, or that I used to get teased and bullied about, are the very same things that have helped me to be a success in my dreams and moving forward in my aspirations
that's so
and
good.
accelerating. You know? And so I think that's phenomenal for you to say that and for you to embrace, you know, who you are. So I want to take a couple of calls from our listeners.
Sure.
Looks like some people I'm going to bring
Great.
first into the show, area code 646-756. 646-756. I'm bringing you live into the Sade Champagne Show. Hello? Hello? They're just listening. Do you have a question that you want to ask? All right, we'll go to area code 805-628. Area code 805-628.
Hello?
Katrina, I recognize that voice and that number again.
Yes.
So, do you have any? Would you like to say hi to Evan, and do you have any questions for him, or to Skinny E now?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What would you like to
question.
ask him or share with him? Go ahead.
Okay. I was wondering, like, who's your inspiration, that wants to help you move on?
Who's my inspiration? That's a great question. I have a ton of answers there for sure. Just while we're on the topic of kind of image and being confident about who you are, one of my greatest influences there, and one of my greatest inspirations in music in general, is Prince, actually. Prince is one of my
favorite. He's so cute.
He's amazing. He's one of my all-time favorite artists. A lot of people don't know this. Prince is 5'2". He was really short. But one of the reasons people don't know he was that short is because he just never really addressed it. He wore tall heels and just he was so confident and owned the stage so unashamedly that no one ever went, oh man, this guy's a shrimp. He just he never even gave them an opportunity to address it because he just was so impressive and so confident all the time. So he's been a huge inspiration to me musically and as a similar man of stature, as someone to be able to point to that's similar to myself. I've learned a lot from Prince about performing and just having confidence for sure. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other
Great
questions,
question.
Katrina?
Thank you. I have one more.
Sure.
How long have you been singing?
Oh, man. I don't remember not singing. I really don't. The earliest memories that I have, the oldest memories that I have, I remember singing. I always sang. I was in choirs at my church when I was 4 or 5 even, just singing. I was definitely one of those people who knew exactly what I love to do, as soon as almost humanly possible. I think it was born into me somewhere, for sure.
Yeah, I like singing too. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, singing is the best. I think everyone should sing. Singing is just such a wonderful thing. I think singing should be as much a part of your life as breathing or walking.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Katrina is one of my students that I mentor and instruct for performing arts and also part of my Teen Girls group. And
awesome.
She has one of the most beautiful voices I've seen, very heavenly
Wow.
and ethereal.
Amazing.
So, a phenomenal young woman.
That's incredible. Katrina, I would love to hear you sing sometime.
Katrina, you have a chance right now. If you can do it in the next 15 seconds, sing something for him right now on air. 15 seconds.
Okay. I'll sing something really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Your lights I saw me turn to stone. Yeah.
Wow, you do have an awesome voice.
Yeah, she She sings a lot of she has like a really like a quiver to her voice, and she loves like a lot of like Melanie Martinez is one of her favorite artists, so she sings a lot of
Melanie rocks.
Like that. So,
totally, that's awesome.
Thank you so much, Katrina. Keep on listening, and I have Celeste coming up next, so if you have questions for her, I'll have you bring you on her show.
Celeste.
Okay, bye.
Christina, great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, tell us about a time when you wanted to quit, and how did you overcome that moment? It could be personally or professionally.
Yeah. So, I was actually originally supposed to be on season 8 of The Voice. I had made it to blind auditions, and that was the season I originally got contacted to be a part of. And the teams filled up before my chance to get on stage and sing came. Wow. And actually, like, that mainly happened. I actually was going to go on, like, one day of auditions, and then there was a delay. One of the coaches got sick, and they needed to take, like, a week off. So they moved the auditions back a week, and my day to audition fell on my twin sister's wedding day.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, man, what do I do now? Like, I can't miss my sister's wedding. I guess I'm going to pull out. But they worked with me. They moved me to a different audition day. But then when I moved to a later audition day, I missed my chance to audition because the teams filled up before my chance to go. So that was a pretty tough moment. Like, I felt like that opportunity was a huge blessing that had fallen in my lap to get to audition for this show. And then that opportunity just kind of like fell out from under me. And I went back to Virginia. I went back to playing like gigs, just carrying a guitar and a sound system and speakers to like bars and restaurants to play music for a check. It was very discouraging to feel like I was that close. And so that was a moment where I was like, do I want to keep doing this? Am I going to keep like taking risks and putting off other things in my life to pursue this when those kinds of opportunities can fall out from under you? But I just prayed, and God assured me that He had another opportunity for me, and sure enough, like, I got a chance to go be on season 9 of The Voice. And I got to season 9, and there was so many obvious signs that that's the season I was supposed to be on. So many people that I know I needed to meet, so many people I know I was supposed to make friends with, and I know that that was the best season for me to be on. So it worked out perfectly. But that was definitely a moment where I did not feel like I wanted to keep going.
Right. And you were on a really strong season, too. Like, I feel like it pushed everyone
really
to do the very best. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Which is obviously can be challenging in some ways, but in other ways it's really good because it brings out the best in everyone.
Absolutely. I think competition is great. I really like, I even think being pitted against a ton of your friends, it's like a very uncomfortable tension, competing with people who you really want to succeed. But, everybody gets something out of it, and at the end of the day, you're all becoming so much better by being around each other. I think I'm a million times a better singer than I was before I was, singing with all of them.
Yeah. So what are you most proud of? This can be professionally or personally.
I think the thing that I'm most proud of, I think personally the thing I'm most proud of is just that I try really hard just to follow what I feel like God is leading me to do, even if that means saying no to something that I really want. If I feel like God's trying to tell me that what I'm pursuing is not the right thing for me, I try really hard to follow that because I know that that's just always what's going to be the best for me. Professionally, I think the thing I'm most proud of is a full-length record that I just recorded less than a month ago in Nashville. I've been in the studio most of the last couple months working on a record, and it's my first time doing a full-length album like that, so it's turned out really beautifully, and it's totally just like a piece of my heart put into a studio and put onto music. So I think that's the thing I'm most proud of for sure in my professional career.
Yeah. Go Skinny Eve! I cannot wait to hear it.
I can't wait to hear it too. I'm going to be getting the final tracks back to listen through sometime this week. I'm also like waiting anxiously.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. How do you stay confident while working in industries that have been known to tear people down?
Oh man, what a great question. For me, like, I think you're going to be unless you're like a Justin Bieber, that's like an overnight success. I think if you put your stock and put all of your hopes in having success in the music industry, I just don't think that's a sustainable hope. I don't think that's a sustainable expectation. So for me, how I pursue it without getting down is like, whether or not I have success in the music industry, whether or not my album sells, whether or not my show sells out, whether or not I'm on top of the charts or no one's heard my music at all, like that's not going to determine whether or not I feel successful and whether or not I feel like that I've fulfilled like what I need to do. So for me, the majority of the time when I see someone that's torn down by the industry, it's because they've put their heart in the hands of the industry to either make or break like their entire self-esteem or their entire pride. And so for me, how I stay confident is that it doesn't really matter what happens with my music that much. Whatever success comes, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to take it. But at the end of the day, that's not where my hope comes from, and that's not where my joy comes from. So I'm able to just make music, and I'm fulfilled just by making the music. And then whatever opportunities that turns into, I'm happy with.
Oh, my goodness. That's like one of the most amazing answers that I've heard in all the 32 episodes of interviews I've done, especially with doing so many people in the industry. You're right about that, because oftentimes people do find their hope and their joy in what someone else's approval of them means. And obviously, I'm not saying it doesn't feel good for people to support us, to like what we're doing, to be passionate about it. But if that is what you said,
absolutely.
If that's what we consider to be our sustenance and our reason for living, and whether we're going to be happy or not, then I feel like that's an issue. And that's a quick
You're going to be disappointed more times than not if that's where you're putting your hopes.
Yeah.
Totally. So, and I will say,
you were going to say something. Go ahead.
That hasn't always been my mindset. There was a time, for sure, when, like, I wasn't going to be satisfied unless I made it, quote, unquote, made it into the industry. And at this point, like, I had to take a real step back more recently and say, okay, like, what am I looking for? What is it that I really want? And what I want is to make music, and, like, I want to do what God wants me to do. And ultimately, I just don't know that means being a big name household rock star, I don't know. I just took a real step back the last year or two, and this whole process through the voice really helped me look objectively at, like, what do I want and what's really going to make me happy? Is it the music industry? Probably not. I'm going to keep making music. I'm going to be involved in the music industry, but that's not what I'm going to put my hope in.
That's good. Tell us about your new song, Love Again. And, well, you already actually shared with us what you're working on artistically, but if you'd like to share anything else with that, you're welcome to as well.
Yeah. So after The Voice, I hung around Virginia for a couple months. And then at the end of March, I moved to Nashville for the summer. And I planned to be there for like 3 or 4 months or so. And my main goal was to go there and just make music. I wanted to find musicians to play with, a producer to record with, a studio, the whole 9 yards. Because I didn't really know a lot of people like that in Virginia, where I'm from. So I went out there. Another great story of like an opportunity falling out and another one falling in your lap. There was a producer I was going to work with, and we were actually going to be making a soul album, very much in the vein of like Jackson 5, bass and drums, rhythm section, just like super groovy white boy funk. It was going to be super fun. I had amazing musicians I was working with, a super cool producer. We were getting ready to make like a 5 or 6 song soul EP, and some things happened. Some things happened to my producer, and he had to. He like couldn't do the album anymore. We were like about to make it, and he had to pull out. And it was kind of a crushing moment because I'd been there for a few months just to make this record, and everything totally changed. Just like what happened on The Voice the first time I went out. But I'm a firm believer that like when God closes a door, there's usually a better one about to open because of it. And I ended up meeting another producer whose name is also Evan. And he asked me to come to his studio to play him some of my songs. And obviously I didn't have my whole band with me, so I just played him some songs that I had been writing on my acoustic guitar. Were way more stripped and way more just raw and not funky at all. They were just like pretty and chill. And I played him like 10 songs. And he said, man, tell me about these songs. Tell me about where this comes from. And so we just spent a couple hours. He just asked me a lot of questions, and I played him these songs. And he said, dude, that EP you were getting ready to make sounds awesome. It's going to be sweet. I hope you still make it. He said, but this is the album you need to make right now, because it's what you're living through right now. This album is what you're going through right now. So he and I, about a month after that, just like locked ourselves in his studio for a week and recorded 11 songs that are going to go on this record. And Love Again, that we'll hear in a few minutes, is one of them, and is one of the songs that really kind of sums up the heart and the emotion of the whole album. And this song is probably going to be the one we release as a single in the next month or so. So this is this will be kind of a sneak peek, this song that's not even really out yet.
Wow, what an honor, and what an honor for our listeners, for me, to be able to listen to this in just a few minutes, and for you to bring this to my show. We're very thankful, and just like,
thank you for
like
the
I said,
opportunity.
and even the time we've been able to spend together, through this call, and it's just been phenomenal. You and I also have a mutual friend in common, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I know Aaron.
Yeah, he's one of my dearest friends and biggest supporters.
Yeah, Aaron is awesome. Aaron was a good friend I made while I was out in California. Had a lot of chances to talk sports and talk life, riding around from place to place. So Aaron is super awesome. Yeah, and he's like, he's exactly who you think he is. I was like, I feel it. I was like, 'cause I can feel his heart I can feel your heart from the to my TV screen. And he's like, that's exactly how he is. I was like, I knew it. So I wanted to give him a shout out there. Shout out to Aaron. And so, that's awesome.
How do you handle negativity and stress?
Oh man, negativity and stress. Well, one thing that I do is I surround myself with what I call fighters. I think it's important to surround yourself with fighters, people who are going to live through your suffering with you and get you out of it stronger. The kind of people, and just true friends, that are going to encourage you, be honest with you, tell you when you're screwing up, and celebrate when you're in triumph. And when you have those people around you, I'm blessed to have so many people in my life that are just fighters. They fight for me. I'm blessed to have those people in my life because they keep me out of stress and anxiety, and they build me up and keep me honest. And the number one thing I do is I just spend time with God. Like that's the most important thing. If anyone's feeling stressed or anxious or unsure about what's going on in their life, like that's the biggest thing I could encourage you to do. Like, God loves you. He knows what's going on in your life. He has it under control, and he'll encourage you and make you feel better about things than anybody can. So if I just stay in the truth of what God is doing in my life and just listen for what he says about me and not what others say about me, because other people on this earth are going to have bad things to say about you. They're going to find something they don't like about you. It might be the way your nose is shaped, or the way you talk, or the things that you think are funny, whatever it is. People aren't going to like you, but God is always going to love you, and he's always has the highest opinion of you more than anybody. So if that's where I go and get my encouragement from, if someone goes to say something bad about me or something bad happens in my life, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm already filled up with so much joy. I'm already so encouraged just that God loves me and has my life taken care of. Nothing anyone says bad about me is going to take me down at that point because I'm already up.
Oh, my goodness, E. I also feel like there's some books that are in your future, and some definitely inspirational speaking and some preaching that are in your future as well. And it's going to tie into with your music, and it's going to
totally. That would be awesome.
so many people. I totally see. As you were talking, I was like, oh, my goodness. And you're really engaging to where it's just going to, you make people feel like they're in their living room or like at the dinner table just chatting with you, and they're going to feel so comfortable, you know. And so I'm excited to see how God opens those doors, because I totally see you doing that with even more writing and combining it with your music and speaking and stuff. So I'm definitely going to be praying for you about that, and I'm excited to see all these things coming forth from you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's very encouraging to me, because those are a lot of things that I would like to do in my life, and just speak good things to people, whether it be through a book or I think when you release music, you create such a platform for yourself to connect with people where like they're already listening to your voice through your songs, and you earn the right when someone's following you in that way to speak to them person to person outside of the music as well. So that's it's an honor. It's an honor really to have that platform, and I'm glad and that I do, and hope that I will even more.
So as we're wrapping up our time together, because I could chat with you forever, and I'm looking forward to bringing you back on when your music comes out, and when you're doing things, and like when you come to SoCal, let me know. I would love to stay in contact with you, because I do tons of events through my tour and my performances, and I'd love to support you any way that I can, you know, even if you do a tour with your new album. And so let's make sure we stay in contact, because I'd love to support you and help you with, you know, venues or whatever, promotion, all those things, because I do a lot of that.
That would be awesome. I've really, really missed California. I'm hoping to take a trip out to see some people in LA, San Diego, and San Luis Obispo too. I want to hit the coast.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be great.
Let everyone know, Skinny E, where they can follow you and stay updated with your career.
Yeah, so if you go on Twitter, Instagram, any of those things, and put in Skinny-E, like, you're going to find me. I would actually just send you right now to SkinnyE.com. I actually I totally redesigned my website, and you can connect to all my social media, my blog, my music, everything, just from that one place. So you can follow me at www.SkinnyE.com, and everything is kind of found through there.
Wonderful. And then now we're going to have you introduce your beautiful song. And this, guys, is the first time he's sharing this live on radio with us on the Sade Champagne Show. And so I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, I guess you could say this is the official first listen ever of my new song, Love Again. Here you go.
Keep listening to the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio.
I'm Kevin Miller, and I believe every person deserves to feel great in their body and their life. I'm creating a community of people committed to empowering each other to achieve our dreams. Before I found my purpose, I had lost all hope of ever permanently getting back to a healthy weight. I'd tried every plan. I was stressed and overwhelmed about life and the future. Then I was introduced to a clinically proven, all-natural cleansing and nutrition system by my daughter. It's convenient, satisfying, and affordable. I released over 100 pounds and absolutely know I will reach my goal weight. I'm excited about life again, can play with my grandkids, and do anything I desire without any limitations. If any of this interests you, please call me at 805-218-7146. 805-218-7146. Have a great day.
Beautiful people. See, this is why I don't sing on the show. Hey, guys, this is Christina Renee from the What's Going On segment on the Sade Champagne Show, and you're listening to GrindHard Radio.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio. You're listening to our All-Stars The Voice special episode. Our final celebrity guest is on the line, Celeste Betton, a native of Ozark. In fact, she was the first African-American to get cast for a lead role in her high school musical. Her voice alone even allowed her to win an opportunity to sing the national anthem for U.S. Open in New York. During her collegiate years, singing background from multiple artists began to open more opportunities for her to showcase her talent. Vashawn Mitchell, Grammy-nominated gospel artist, asked Celeste to record the lead vocals for God Cares for You, an encouraging, uplifting record off of Mitchell's 2011 album, My Songbook. It wasn't long before Celeste began receiving opportunities to showcase her voice nationally and internationally, and even later began serving as the praise and worship leader and choir director at her church. Before her time on The Voice, Celeste also won second place on Operation Rising Star in Fort Stewart, Georgia, the military's version of American Idol. She was a top 20 finalist for Team Pharrell on season 9 of The Voice and one of my personal favorites of the show. She's such a beautiful and phenomenal woman. Give it up for Celeste. Hey, Celeste.
Hey. Hi. Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing?
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. Absolutely spectacular.
We are
How about
so
yourself?
glad
How
to
you
have
doing?
you. Oh, I'm doing phenomenal. This show's been so encouraging tonight. It's been so fun, and we are glad to have you on the Sade Champagne Show for
thank
episode
you for having
32
me.
of season 2.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yes.
And for the Voice All-Star special, because you are such an all-star, and so I knew I wanted to reach out to you and to be a part of this.
Well, thank you so much. I am honored. I am so humbled that you thought enough of me to even have me on. So that's big. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So for those who are just getting to know you, please let everyone know how you got your start in the entertainment and music industry.
Oh, wow. Like a lot of artists and musicians, I got my start in church and kind of discovered that I enjoy this and have always had the God-given ability to sing and just being able to be up under people and kind of develop my gift and grow and things like that, and then realize, you know what, I would love to do this on a larger stage, and just doors started to open, and mainly this one from The Voice, and that was nothing that, it was the thing that I never knew that I wanted. Like I never knew that I wanted it, but I so enjoyed my time on that show and met so many amazing people and experienced a level of excellence in music industry that I had never seen before. And like once you have seen that and had a taste of that, like you will not stop it until you can get that again. So, you know, we're all working hard to maintain, if not, you know, chase after that level, that taste of success that we had there, and to exceed it, you know. So that was kind of my start, but it, you know, it never finishes. You're never done. You never have arrived. You never reach your goal. So, you know, it's an ongoing journey.
So tell us about, you know, your experience on The Voice and how that opportunity has expanded your career.
You know what, that show has done wonders for me. Just the people that I got a chance to meet and network with, and see people who their whole life is wrapped in their craft, and their passion for it is one that challenges you. You know, if there's times where you know, you can kind of doubt yourself or kind of get lackadaisical, you know, the curse of the gifted, they call, and it challenged me to really get serious or be more serious and more proactive about what I do and what I want to do. And you know, just it was an awesome experience having an opportunity to work with Coach Pharrell. He's such a humble and genuine spirit. What you see on TV really is who he is. You know, you never feel like he says anything and it's just for the camera. You always felt like it was coming from a genuine place. He really cared about the people that were on his team. And then, of course, you get to meet zany people like Skinny E, like Evan, you know, develop relationships, and you challenge people. You know, you're challenged by each other's craft and their excellence and their passion in craft. And yeah, it's really, it gave me exposure to a whole new you know, group of people and fans who love good music, and because by merit of them have an opportunity not to just hear your music, but to hear your story and to hear your heart and get to know you. You know, they fall in love with not just what you sound like, but who you are as a person. And I have some of the most loyal and supportive family, as I call them, not just fans, but you know, they're family to me. And you know, being on The Voice gave me an opportunity to you know, reach so many different people that I would not have been able to reach before. So, you know, of course it's a contest, and people can get discouraged when you don't win, but in a show like that, even if you don't win, you still win. You know, there's so much that you walk away from that type of experience. So I'm grateful.
Mhm. And I'm telling you, from the moment you stepped on the stage, and before you even sang, I was just like, she's so beautiful, and I just love your style.
Thank
and then
you.
you open your mouth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm just like fawning over you. And I was so excited when they brought you back too, because you were another one on the show. I just adored you to pieces, and just thought you were absolutely phenomenal. And I am so excited about your new single, which we're going to get into that in a little bit. But I've been playing it on repeat. I bought it myself. Like when I emailed your management about you being on, and I was like, I already bought the song, so that'll be the one that we play. And so it's like really supporting you, And so I want to know what made you decide to become a worship and Christian singer instead of other genres? Because you can sing anything.
Oh, well, thank you. You know what? That has just always been my heart. I am a very strong believer. I have I take my faith walk very seriously, and I believe just that the message of love and joy, of peace, is such a powerful message, especially in the world that we're living in today, when there's just so much chaos surrounding us and around us, and we're all looking for a message of hope. And that's the message that I live by, and that's the message that I want to spread and share with other people. So that that's my conviction, that I believe that my life is better because of my faith. And not to push it on anybody, but to share with other people that, hey, there is hope today, there's love today, and you too can be free and be happy and be joyful. So that's my goal. That's to spread that, to be salt and light in this earth, to leave every atmosphere, every place, every room that you're in, to leave it brighter and to leave it tasting better. So that's my goal in everything that I do. No matter what I sing, I could be singing "Love You, I Do," and if I'm singing that, I hope that your day is made better, from that song to "It Is Well" to this song "10,000 Reasons." I want, when you hear my music, that you feel empowered, that you feel better than you did before second 001, like that you feel better, so that's my goal. That's why I do what I do.
Right, and you're such a powerful and dynamic young woman, and so what words of encouragement and wisdom do you want to share with young girls and women about the importance of confidence and having high self-esteem?
My goodness, that is, something. I don't think it's ever anything that we are battle with insecurities all the time, and just remembering that I've had to remember. I'll just speak for myself. I've had to remember that I am unique, and that's what I would give to any other young woman. You are unique, and the moment you start comparing yourself to other people, you lose your individuality and your ability to be you. So find that thing about yourself, or everything about yourself, that makes you stand apart, and love that and embrace that and walk in that. And if you do that, everyone else has to recognize that, and they can't do anything. But with the moment you doubt yourself, you give people more room and more power than they need or they deserve. So to embrace your individuality, embrace your uniqueness, and love everything about it, flaws and all. You have to love that first before you can expect anybody else to love it. So that would be my thing.
That's really good. Tell us about a time when you wanted to quit in life, and how did you overcome that moment? It can be personally or professionally.
Goodness. Actually, I think maybe right before The Voice, to be honest. I was in a place where I had kind of dealt with a number of rejections, dealt with a number of no's, and feeling like, maybe this is just not what I'm supposed to do, and maybe I just need to kind of be content doing what I'm doing, and just helping other people and being a support to other people. So The Voice was kind of like my last hoorah. Like, after this, you know what, I'm good with life. I love being a mom. I love being a wife. I love being a friend and a sister. And I can do that to the best of my ability and not miss a beat. So, to go on The Voice and to have that opportunity. And it indeed was validation, in a sense that, you have what it takes to do this on this type of stage. You know, to compete in other, you know, other competitions and things like that, and, you know, to not go by, to not move forward and feel like, you know what, you don't have it. You know, maybe it's just not enough. And to in that moment when that chair turned for, you know, this Grammy award-winning producer to say, you have enough, you have what I need, or you have what it takes to shine on this stage, and not just once but twice. You know, when he brought me back, you know, that was a big moment for me, not just to be back on the stage of The Voice, but for somebody who I respect to validate. You know, what I'm passionate about in that moment. It reignited that fire and that flame, and that's what I needed right in that season of my life. So, you know, and that's, I believe that's why it's important that us who I won't say have arrived, but have position and have influence, that we, you know, turn around and we build those up around us who may not be where we are but want to be, so that you never know what they're going through in that moment, and you know, us, you know, being encouraging and saying something nice and giving them a compliment may mean the world to them in that moment, and you may have been just what they needed to keep them from not letting go, you know, or from letting go, you know. So you never know what your influence can do in somebody's down season, you know, and they're off season. So we're never aware of what's of everybody else's seasons, but we can always be self-aware and make sure that we're depositing good and depositing positive.
That's really good. And you definitely do have what it takes, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A call from one of our listeners and see if they have any questions for you. Area code 805-628. I'm bringing you back into the show. She's been listening in all show long and asking questions to our guests. Katrina, you still there?
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hi, awesome. Katrina.
Hi.
So do you have any questions for Celeste that you'd like to ask her? Any comments you'd like to share?
Yeah. Who's your inspiration?
My inspiration? Oh, my goodness. My musical inspiration?
Yeah.
You know what? I absolutely love Stevie Wonder. I think that he is unapologetically one of the greatest vocalists and songwriters of our time. He says what he, you know, what he feels, what his heart says, and he expresses it musically in a way that's never what you expect. And you know, I think he's some of everybody's musical influence, but he's definitely mine as well. I remember like harmonizing to his intricate melodies and thinking, okay, like if he can do that, like I know I may not be able to do what he's doing, but I can come close, you know, and be like Stevie Wonder. Like I love him. So that would be my musical influence.
That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. That's an awesome question.
Thank you.
Do you have any more you'd like to ask for Katrina?
Yeah, I have one more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Shoot.
What was it like on The Voice, like when you're on stage?
Oh my goodness. It is like a party in one spot. Like there's so much love and energy in the room. Like everybody is so supportive. They're cheering. You know, you have a push and a drive that you really don't get to experience when you know, I love intimate settings, but that particular setting, you're fueled by the energy and the love of the people that are out there. So it's so exciting. It's exhilarating. It really is like you're having a party in like a little 1 foot by 1 foot square, and the band is amazing, and the light show that goes on, and you know, getting to sing in front of, you know, 4 of the most influential people in music today. It's a great feeling. It's so exciting. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I'm grateful to have had.
Oh my God, I want to be on The Voice so bad.
And you can. You absolutely can. You just stay with it, and you practice and you work at it, and you, despite what happens before that moment or anything like that, you believe in yourself and you keep telling yourself, that's what I want to do and that's what I'm going to do, because there's so much power in your words. And if you can believe it and you can speak it and you can just kind of throw those good words into the atmosphere, you can have whatever it is that you set your mind to. So if you want to stand on that voice stage, you can absolutely stand on that voice stage.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're
Katrina,
welcome.
she's telling you things that I share with you guys all the time, isn't she?
Yeah.
Katrina's one of my amazing students that I mentor and do performing arts instruction with at Ventura High School. And so
awesome.
she's been excited to get to see that I'm living my dreams and also helping them and other people to live their dreams at the same time. And it goes into what you were saying, like, being able to reach around and help those around us. So I may not be at that, Pharrell level yet now, and we can use that influence now to make a difference in lives around us.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Well, it was so nice to meet you, Katrina. Hey, girl.
Oh, thank you.
Again, Katrina, so you can hear her brand new, beautiful soul in a few minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, well, that was precious.
You just made her whole night. She's going to be telling me about it all next week. When I was going to post a picture because she literally had written on her. She said, watch or listen to Sade's radio show tonight, because she'll listen in on particular episodes when she can, and when I let her know what guests are coming, and she's like, I want to ask them this question, I want to ask them this, and I say, well, you listen in. I'm like, you're basically getting a whole bunch of free advice and free inspiration and encouragement. And so
my
you guys
goodness. Well, awesome.
Let's talk about your beautiful new song, 10,000 Reasons, and what else you're working on artistically.
Oh, goodness. Well, the song that I guess we're about to listen to in a few minutes, it is called 10,000 Reasons. It's actually originally by Matt Redman. And when I first heard the song, it just resonated so with me. It's a beautifully written song. It's a worship song, just talking kind of the day and being mindful that there's always a reason to give God glory, to be thankful, to, like the song says, bless the Lord. And when everything is said and done, there'll still be a reason, to give God glory. So it's a beautifully written song, and it's very reflective internally and erupts in an external praise. And then right now I'm currently working on an EP, working on some music with a producer out of Texas, out of Houston, Texas, and we're kind of bouncing some ideas back and forth, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll have it recorded and have a release date for it. So I'm excited. I really feel good about what we're creating and what we're about to put out. It's very positive. It's very transparent. It is my heart to music, so I'm really excited, about it, to be true to myself and be able to share that with those who will listen. So, yeah.
And I'm telling you, I just got to be honest about this because I'm an honest and transparent person. Your version of the song is what makes me love the song.
Oh, wow. Bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's
you.
The version I'm listening to. I was telling my mom, I'm like, she's a perfect blend of gospel and contemporary where you really feel it and you caress the song. You go into the dynamics, but it's phenomenal. And so I really enjoyed it, and I feel your part on it. And
thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, dear. And so is there anything else coming up that you'd like to share or promote?
I think that I'm going to be at if you're in the Seattle area, there will be a CD release concert, a group out of this area called Danelle Damon and Greater Works that I sing with from time to time. We're having our CD release concert, and it's a mixtape recording, and then I'm also going to be performing the single there as well. So I am excited about that. Greater Works is an awesome ministry in this area, and I'm honored to be a part of them, and then have an opportunity and a platform to share what I do, as a solo artist there as well. So if you're in the area, it's in November, November the 26th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. You can go to my my Facebook page, and I'll be posting about it here soon, posting the flyer, and you can get the information from there. And then, just to stay connected with me, www.celestebettonmusic.com, as well as Celeste Betton on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. You'll see pictures of me, doing celestial tones, as I call them, little snippets of me singing and just me being silly, and pictures of my children and, me and my husband kicking it and stuff like that. So, yeah, you get to see a lot more of me. But, yeah, so that's what we got going on right now.
Perfect. So now we're going to go into your beautiful, phenomenal, stellar, I love it so much, new song, 10,000 Reasons. Have you introduced that for us so we can play it live on the Sade Champagne Show?
Yay! So, hey, guys, this is my debut single, 10,000 Reasons. It is my heart song in this season. With everything going around, there's, we're searching for reasons to be grateful, searching for reasons to be thankful, searching for reasons to just to be hopeful. God always gives us that and more, because we're living, we're breathing, and He graces us every day with everything that we need and more. So here's my new song, 10,000 Reasons. Thank you for listening.
Thanks to Celeste Betton, and you're listening to the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio.
Are you looking for a dynamic musical artist, performer, host, or inspirational speaker for your next event? What about a mentor, vocal instructor, or workshop leader for your school, company, or seminar? Contact Sade Champagne for countless professional services that are sure to fit your particular need. She is an in-demand, award-winning, and critically acclaimed musical artist, performer, inspirational speaker, and entrepreneur who is invited all around the world. She is known for having a powerful voice, turning ideas into action, creating, directing, and executive producing popular, charitable, and inspirational events, and bringing out the gold in others. Her services are for all ages, backgrounds, and environments. Contact Sade Champagne at SadeChampagnemusic@gmail.com. That's Sade Champagne Music @gmail.com to book her for your next event or project.
Hi, this is Lisa Lewalt of the Motivational Moments segment on the Sade Champagne Show, and you're listening on GrindHard Radio.
Welcome back to the Sade Champagne Show on GrindHard Radio. You've been listening to our All Stars The Voice special episode. Our next segment of the night is Sharing Your Story. Join published author, speaker, and poet Ayokunle Falama as he inspires you and shares tips on how to tell your own stories. Hashtag sharing your story to ask him your questions and join in the conversation.
Hello, listeners. How are you guys doing? It's a privilege to share again today on Sharing Your Story segment. I'm very happy for you guys that you're able to come join me. So it is another episode, and of course, the purpose of the segment is to share with you guys tips, encouragements, and also to tell my story as well, in hopes that in me sharing in my own story would inspire a lot of you who are writers, a lot of you who are storytellers, a lot of you who are poets, authors, aspiring authors, or whatever the case might be, to share your own story and tell your own stories so that it can, in turn, inspire another person to tell their story. So it's somewhat of a ripple effect, which is what I kind of like. So I'll do a brief recap of what we've been able to do over the course of the times that we've met. The very first time that we met, I shared with you my own story, so who I am, why I write, and the course, the trajectory of my experience with writing and telling stories. Uh, the medium right now that I use in sharing stories and telling stories is, of course, as I have mentioned over the course of the time we've met, is through poetry. And just to recap, I have over the course of my lifetime, it's not like a lot. I'm not like a 100 years old or anything, but um, I started writing when I was 6, and I've gone through different mediums over the course of me writing. I've done short stories. I've attempted to write songs. I've written and directed plays. There was a time I ventured into screenwriting and script writing. And there was a time when I aspired to be a film director. And I think to a certain extent, I think I still want to be. So that's just to say that the mediums have changed over the years, but the desire to tell stories and the desire to tell a distinct kind of story has been prevalent over time. And that still remains. That passion is still there. I really, really want to tell stories that talk a lot, that reflect our humanity in the broad scope that it is. There is no single way, of course, of telling a story, but I'm committed to that. So the last time we met, I talked a little bit about telling the truth about yourself, telling the truth about who you are. And that's a very, very important tip or encouragement that I could give to storytellers, because there is this temptation in a way to embellish who you are, to embellish the truth and the authenticity of your story or who you are, in order to maybe appease the crowd, in order to maybe in some certain extent gain, whatever the case might be, popularity, fame, money. In some cases, there is always that temptation. And sure, some people do it and are quote unquote successful, but you realize that on an emotional level, on a shared humanity kind of level, which is what I'm more concerned with. The stories that resonate the most are stories where I can find, the truth of who you are in connection to who I am. So you're reflecting my humanity back at me, and you're telling your story in an authentic and a vulnerable way. So tonight, I think I'll share a little more about my own story. I'll tell a story and I'll recap in some way an experience over the past weekend that kind of happened. So as I shared earlier, I do poetry, and there's a certain kind of poetry that's called poetry slam or slam poetry, however you want to say it. And it pretty much just involves competition, and then you're telling stories and you have random people act as judges, and they score you based on how they feel your story, like the worth of your story, the weight of it, and they score based on that. And so a competition happened over the weekend that's called the Texas Grand Slam, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that. And I would say out of 42 poets, about 24 or so advanced to the semifinals, and I was part of the 24 that advanced to the semifinals, and then 10 advanced to the finals. And then out of those 10, 4 were declared like the champion, and out of those 4, of course, one person was declared like the ultimate champion. Just to continue with the kind of things I talked about the last time I was on here, the poems that resonated the most, of course, the stories that were honest, or stories that are relatable. But what I do want to share today is, while it's great to tell stories, while it's great to share stories, there are some stories that probably don't need to be shared. Um, I'm contradicting myself a little bit because if you've paid attention, you've heard me say, I would like everybody to share their stories. And I still hold on to that, but at the same time, saying not all stories are supposed to be shared every single time. And that's the caveat that I'm putting on it. Uh, there are some stories that should be shared with a certain group of people. There are some stories that should be shared outside of those group of people. And the whole purpose of me saying that is that there is a purpose to you telling a story. There should be. As a writer, as a poet, there should be a reason why. Well, it should be a reason why you're telling a story. You should have a purpose to it. If the purpose is just to tell stories for the sake of telling stories, you will realize sooner than later that it's not worth anything, either to you or to the people listening to you. And the reason I brought that up is because all the stories that I heard over the past weekend were very, very purposeful, were very, very needed. These were stories that needed to be told. And you could tell that in the presentation of the stories, you could tell that these people had reasons behind why they were telling these kinds of stories, or different kinds of stories that they were telling. So it made it a lot more easier to listen to them. It made it a lot more easier to relate to them. Now that's kind of what I want to bring back. Figure out what's the reason. Figure out what's the purpose of you telling this story at this time, and that would increase the level of how relatable it is. That would increase the level of how much impact it could make. That would increase the level of how much people can actually resonate with it. Until you figure that out as a writer, until you figure that out as a storyteller, it's a lot more difficult to convince other people to join in, in your purpose. Because if you don't have a purpose, how do you then invite other people to be a part of that? So that's my tip for tonight. Find your purpose, find the purpose for you writing, and by you finding that, it'll be a lot more easier to convince other people to be part of that purpose. So with that, I'll leave you all. Keep sharing your stories, keep telling your stories, and until next time, bye.
Our final segment of the night is Motivational Moments. Join award-winning multi-threat performer, entertainer, and motivational speaker Lisa Lewalt as she shares inspirational stories and ideas to help encourage, empower, and activate you in your dreams and aspirations. Be sure to follow her at Lisa Lewalt on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and hashtag Motivational Moments to join in the conversation.
Have you ever dealt with drama? Whether it was something simple like what you just saw with my family drama, or something more severe, or maybe it's a hard circumstance or a storm in your life. If you've been on the planet for more than a few years, I'm sure that you have. The question I want to ask you guys today is a question that God asked Hagar in the Old Testament. Now, if you're not familiar with the story of Abraham or with the Bible, I want to warn you that the Bible does not exactly cover up the flaws of its characters, and sometimes they did some pretty messed up stuff. So the story of Abraham goes that God promises him a son, and through this son he's going to be the father of many nations. But Abraham starts to get very old, and his wife Sarah can't have a child. So he thinks to himself, I know what I'll do. I'll just carry on my family line through the maidservant. Instead of waiting for God to do the miracle he had promised, he tried to take things into his own hands. When Hagar, his maidservant, gets pregnant, you can imagine the drama that ensues between his wife Sarah and his maidservant Hagar. So Sarah eventually gets very oppressive, and Hagar flees. She runs off. She's in the desert when the angel of the Lord appears to her, and he says, Hagar, where have you come from, and where are you going? She proceeds to tell him all the drama that had happened, as if he didn't already know. After she's done, God tells her that she needs to go back, because he is also going to bless her son and make him into many nations. I am sure when Hagar went back into Abraham's house, the drama hadn't changed, but I'm also sure that she had, because the hope that the promises of God produce and the hope of the destiny he has called us to radically changes how we live in and deal with rough situations. I want to ask you the same two questions today. Where have you come from? What are the things from your past that you've made it through? Where has God been faithful in your past? What are the things that you learned from? And what are the things that have made you strong? And where are you going? I want you to take a minute right now and just fully imagine, what does your life look like when all of the promises of God for you have been fulfilled? Isn't it spectacular, and isn't it worth pushing through to get to that place? When you are in a trial or a storm or just in the in-betweens in life, I want you to remember to ask yourself these same two questions. Where have you come from? And where are you going?
Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight for our All Stars The Voice special episode. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, and sharing my radio show. Next week, a couple of our special guests include Tu Tallin for our New Artist Spotlight segment and for our Entrepreneurs on the Move segment. Also, Rachel Shore from You Can Foundation will be featured for our Charity Spotlight segment. We have another Say What segment, and I'll be bringing in a surprise celebrity guest. Thanks to GrindHard Radio for the opportunity to create my own radio show. Thanks to Travis Miller for creating and producing my theme song, and to Scott Swish for mixing the song. Thanks to my special celebrity guests, Moses Stone, Skinny E, and Celeste Betton. Thanks to my castmates, Ayokunle, Falama, and Lisa Lewalt. Our final song of the night is Joel Piper featuring Moses Stone with Hero. Thanks for listening to the Sade Champagne Show, and see you next Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time right here on GrindHard Radio. Where dreamers dream, where dreams come true. There's no limit to what we can do. Turning no's to yes, leaving doubt behind, releasing the stress. We were born to shine.